Good evening. This is PointBlank here at KTN News with a special program from Kikambala here in the coastal city. Obviously, we have just had a wonderful celebration of Mashujaa. Alan Paton, in his book, Cry My Beloved Country, wrote about the issues of not just social justice, but about equality and equity. There is a person in this room who's not just a governor, but a super governor. Can Mike Sonko cry?
When Cry the Beloved Country was published in 1948, the policy of racial segregation known as apartheid had begun to be implemented. Alan Paton captures the realities of the enormity of social injustice in South Africa in his critically acclaimed work.
Mama, wacha mama ingia ndani. Hapana. Haiwezekani.
The inequalities faced by African society are even more prevalent. More than 70 years since the novel first appeared in bookstores, this is especially so in Kenya and Nairobi. The capital city's governor, Mike Sonko, is determined to correct this dynamic for all her residents.
We are going to do a thorough follow-up. We are going to do thorough investigations. We are going to team up with the strong teams from the director of CID, that is the DCI, from the Ministry of Lands, to ensure that all the people who have lost their properties, their land in a similar way, we are going to ensure that we repossess this land, we recover this land, and restore it to the original owners.
Corruption is endemic in the country. The country has called for blood, and rightly so they cheer on the sidelines. Governors, ministers are all dragged to court. The agencies have good men and bad men, says my guest. That corruption fights back.
Is Mike Sonko the hunter or the hunted? Either way, when the governor of Nairobi goes down to the ground demanding action, all listen. They follow him, including those he has accused of fighting back, in particular the land-grabbing cartels based at City Hall. In a stunning rejoinder, Sonko charts the genesis of his troubles at City Hall. He releases legal documentation for scrutiny to PointBlank. The correspondences include banking details, title deeds, and communication between EACC and himself, as well from the Deposit Protection Fund.
Before I speak to my guest today, and his allegations are grave, serious, profound, even frightening. What has he himself done to fight corruption?
During his swearing-in as the second governor of Nairobi County, Mike Sonko promised the citizens that he would continue to be their advocate. He would fight for their rights. Known as the people's governor, Sonko's rise to arguably the most attractive electoral seat outside the presidency is one to behold. At its center, though it is his ability to quickly marshal and head down to the ground or storm whichever office he deems are behind Nairobi's wars. The 43-year-old who made history as the first Kenyan to be sworn into 3 representative positions as MP in August 2010 following a by-election, as the first senator of Nairobi in August 2013, and as governor in August 2017, considers himself as a role model to the youth and the general population.
Habari sana gavana.
Nzuri sana TG.
Sasa mimi nimekuja hapa kufurahi. Unajua nilikuwa nakula ugali. Walikuwa wameniweka ndani.
Hii babu yako ya diani.
Ati mimi nimebeba whiskey bana. Acha nikunywe maji.
But whiskey is allowed in the ndege. Hata sisi tunakunywa kutoka Dubai, tunachapa.
Sasa walikuwa hivyo, unajua siku moja nilisoma ati Uhuru amesimamisha motorcade yako. Na sasa mimi unajua ilikuwa weekend, mimi natoka up and there, but hii maisha iko hivyo. Governor, there are so many things facing the country. Many of them are very important. Before I come to ask you about many payments you have made, you know, as governor, which are subject to investigations. Obviously, you have paid the deputy president and his companies many money. But before we come to that issue, why do you seem to be haunted by this question of corruption?
TG, as we all know that corruption always fight back. It's a very big cartel. People are not happy when you dismantle them. These are people walikuwa wanafanya biashara, wanatengeneza pesa, wana operate with a lot of impunity, and nobody was taking action. And I want you to refer you back to the war which I fought against graft when I was the senator. There was this case which was brought to my attention by residents of Loresho. I think they are listening, they are watching. There was a land that was grabbed by a very powerful businessman in Loresho. He had grabbed a water reservoir which was feeding over 2 million Nairobi residents with water. Then I remember that time when this matter was brought to my attention, I personally took the case, nilikuwa nachunguza hii kesi, and at some point I was approached by one of the senior officers from the previous Nairobi County Administration office, kuniambia, governor, twende polepole, iko kitu inakuja, tunaenda kukuletea. Some bribe ililetwa kwa ofisi yangu. I alerted the same EACC officers who set a trap, and that senior officer was arrested. And at some point, EACC went to the site, went to the land. The grabber had already started constructing a mall. I think the residents of Loresho who are now watching can attest to this. The mall had already started, the foundation had already started. The county Nairobi water houses had already been grabbed, demolished. But unfortunately, when the EACC went to this the site, they were chased away because the grabber had hired some Masai Morans from a neighboring country.
Nasikia kulikuwa na mambo ya mishale.
Wakapigwa mishale.
Lakini wewe uliepuka.
And I think Judith Shamala was leading the EACC team, and I think she's still with EACC, and maybe she's also watching. She can attest to this. And she came to my office and told me, Governor, uko ni kuna shida, we need your help. So I decided to go to the scene. I was also chased away by Mishales na Masai nikatolewa mbio because I had around 4 bodyguards by then. And these Masais, they were over 100, armed with bow, arrows, and machetes. So after being chased, it was on a Friday, I decided to go to State House. But mzuri, I just called the president, one pop, akashika. Akamwambia, Excellency, karibu niuliwe. Kuna water reservoir imegrabiwa na Mpakistani na hatujui intention yake ni nini.
Lakini mimi nakuuliza, kwa nini rais umpigie? Kwa sababu hii mambo ni mambo ya watu wa kawaida kama DCI, anti-corruption. Watu wanafikiria saa ingine governor ni kama unaita rais yote kwa shida zako.
No, you know, one thing I like about our president, there's nobody who's above the law in this country. And when he's fighting graft, ameamua, whether you are a minister, whether you are a governor, including myself as his friend, he does not mix friendship with work. He's just like me. That's why I decided to go to him, and we got help. Kwa sababu kila rais akona power ya kudeal na corruption ya kila aina. Look at the Kimwarere Dam, who stopped it? It is the president. So at some level, if somebody can chase away the senator, armed with bows and arrows, and is being assisted by the area OCS. You know, the guy was assisted by the area OCS who was transferred and later sacked. So let me finish my story for Kenyans to understand hii story yangu. Ndio isikia kila saa Sonko ana discredit wale watu wanamchunguza. The other day it was the Auditor General when I was being asked to part with the bribe of 100 million. So I don't want it to look as if kila nikikuwa accused ama allegations level against me as now the governor, I start discrediting various investigative agencies. That should not be the case here. And I've said I'm complimenting the EACC for the good job they have done so far. DCI, DPP. So let me go back to my case. So nilipofukuzwa na mishale nikaenda kwa rais, kamwambia hii mahali nchi inaenda, it is wrong. This water reservoir can be poison. Hii wananchi wa Nairobi over 2 million watakufa. We saw what happened in Westgate na Dusit juzi. So Uhuru akakubali. Akaniambia come here on Monday 8 a.m. And I went back to State House on Monday 8 a.m. Alikuwa amenisaidia na timu ya former IG Joseph Boynet, DCI Mohoro, Commander GSU was also the acting DIG Kitili, Swazuri was there, even Halake, the former CEO EACC was present, and a contingent walikuwa wamepanga over 100 GSU officers, police officers, because these guys, the grabber, the OCS was like his godfather. Usingeweza kumguza. Ukaenda hapo, mtu ya kwanza kwa alarm ni OCS kumsaidia yeye. So we went there, to overpower these Maasais. They were arrested. Na I want to thank the residents of Loresho, wa estate na the nearby slum iko hapo inaitwa Kibagare. They came together, the mall was brought down, everything was stopped, the land was repossessed. To date, as we are talking, the land imerudi kwa serikali. And that was a very good job by EACC, led by Judith Chamala. Going now to the issue which we have raised in Nairobi, and I want to compliment Twalib, the CEO of EACC. I want to refer to a letter which Twalib did to my office a couple of, I think, months ago regarding the repossession of a very prime property worth 1 billion in Woodley, which was grabbed by a certain businesswoman going by the name of Rosemary Njeri.
Lakini barua iwezi kuja kwa ofisi governor, just like, why would the anti-corruption write to you?
Because we have
ili mwananchi wa kawaida elewe ili chanzo ilikuwa.
I want to come to that. If you give me at least a minute of explanation, I think I'll come to that. This is the letter. The letter is dated 27th June 2019. This is just, I think, 2 months ago. Headline is EACC. It was received in my office on 27th, addressed to Mike Sonko, Governor of Nairobi City. I'll not go into details because in the interest of time. But the subject property is LR number 209/13539/68 Woodley Estate. I did a reply. My reply is dated 3rd of July 2019. A very brief one paragraph later, addressed to the CEO EACC. And they stamped the letter, they received the letter. And I just want to go to the last paragraph. Okay, because it's a one paragraph later. Reference is made to the above matter, and your reference, blah, 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 dated June 27th. I wish to confirm that the Nairobi City County government has effected the refund of the outstanding stand premium of Kenya shilling 1.1 million to the defendant, who is Rosemary Njeri, through EACC. So this is my response to Twalib, the EACC CEO, and copies of the payment which effected in favor of EACC. This is the payment voucher of 1.1 million. And this is a copy of the statement from CBK that we indeed effected the payment in favor of EACC for onward transmission to Rosemary Njeri so that she surrenders the land.
Now, that is correct. And I want you to go forward, but I have heard you correctly. But you know, Governor, let me test you, because did you pay Amaco 100 million?
I think we should come to that later. Give me just a minute so that I finish. Because that Amaco problem started after this case.
Oh, I see. So you're not denying?
I'm not denying that we paid Amaco. I'll come to that. And I've got my file so that I talk to Kenyans with facts and documents. Yeah, documented evidence is very important. That's how I do my cases, yeah, which have been successful. The last bit of this so that my material is evaporates. Now Kenya are keenly watching because everybody is saying Sonko is corrupt. Now the problem is here. A raid was conducted by the EACC. One of my chief officer lands, whom I reported to the EACC, was arrested. And when the EACC were raiding his offices and houses, we recovered over 14 titles belonging to the public, to the county. I was shocked. And I want to repeat myself. I want to compliment Twalib and all his officers for the good job they are doing so far in the war against graft. EACC sio mbaya, DCI sio mbaya, DPP sio mbaya. Uliona wapi EACC wakituma wakili kotini kwa playground ya watoto kusema mall iendelee kujengwa when governor alikuwa ameisimamisha? The second order it is saying It is hereby further ordered by consent through makubaliano. Hadi serikali ya county, EACC na graba wamekubali shamba ya umma ijengwe mall. Wakenya mliona wapi? EACC wakikubaliana na mwizi ajenge mall kwa mali ya umma ya watoto sauti ya kuchezea. So when I realized this, I said I have to fight back the way I was fighting. And I want to compliment Twalib. If we fought together in a war of Woodley land, ananiandikia barua, lipa hii pesa shamba irudi, nimelipa imerudi. Loresho the same, imerudi before Twalib's time. Itawakost nini kunaandikia barua kwa hii? Kusema wanaenda kotini. Why did they do it behind my back? Then when I start to fight back, I'm being exposed as a corrupt governor. This is where the problem is. And there is a mention on 29th October 2019. And whether I'll be charged or not, this land has to revert back to public use.
But Governor, I have to, and in the public interest, I think when the county government of Nairobi is raising serious issues about how the administration of justice is being conducted and how that is not in the public interest, then I think it's a matter that everyone must hear. However, the people who allege you are selective in your passion, in fact, they say you paid Deputy President William Ruto over 100 million shillings, and that you paid him and you are supporting that.
So you are also alleging. You cannot accuse the Deputy President without facts. Do you have facts, or it's just hearsay?
Well, it is an allegation.
Yes,
that,
so you also say it's an allegation.
Okay,
also just say it is an allegation. You cannot accuse the DP and he's not here to defend
you did
himself.
not pay the county government,
We
did not pay Amaco?
You paid, that's the
I
question.
have the document.
You know, Tony, a question cannot answer another question. It's either you ask a question, then you give me time.
Did you pay Amaco?
Yes, I paid Amaco. And I want to come to that. Yeah, I want to come to that. Because there's a letter that was done by the EACC. Now, this is where my problem started. After differing with them on this consent, na nikasema hii consent, I must set it aside. Na nikakasirika sana. Even the county attorney who was there, who appointed a lawyer behind my back to go and execute this consent, I've already removed her from office. I've not fired, but I've just reduced her powers because she was there in an acting capacity. Now she's in another office. I've brought back Lydia Kwamboka. Now I want to come back to these grievous allegations which you have made against the DP. And I want you to give me time to respond because you've already tarnished the DP's name and he's not here to defend himself. So that Kenyans can also understand how did this matter. Remember, we have a mention on October 29th, 2019 to set aside this consent. And remember, this was May 2019 where they got this consent order. Now I'm moving from there, how Sonko's problems started. Now, there is a letter which was done by the EACC, and I want, this is 29th of July, letter which was done by EACC, that they're investigating some accounts. Yeah? This letter by EACC, investigating some accounts, names have been given. I'm coming to that. Amaco is mentioned here. I'm coming to that. Because in the process of investigations, the Amaco name was raised. So don't just go direct to the DP. Let's not politicize this war against graft. I'm coming to that. I paid, and I paid, but I want to come to that. You know, problem with you journalists, you just want to all raise questions, then you don't want to be answered correctly. I don't want to
Did you pay or you didn't pay Amaco?
I paid Amaco, a company which is associated with the Deputy President. I paid it. So you should give me time so that I flow pole for Kenyans. You have raised a very grievous, sensitive question. You have raised grievous allegations against the Deputy President, who is not a director of Amaco. And I'm not trying to defend him, but the company is associated with him. I'm coming to that. So this letter, all the companies paid are mentioned there, including myself, Governor Sonko. It is alleged that on 17th December 2018, Mike Sonko received 3 million from a company called Todi. But since you've gone to Amaco, Amaco is supposed to come after this. But because I should answer the question, now let me go to Amaco first. then I can come back to this. Now, Amaco won the general insurance tender to do panel beating vehicles for the county on behalf of the county. And this was in 2016 before I became the governor. They won this tender during my predecessor's time. Then sometimes when I was the governor, there is some money that came from Treasury for payment of various contractors who had supplied services kwa serikali yetu ya Nairobi. And you know, when money comes from the exchequer, inakuja na specific reason. Lipa Tunika Shoka hii, lipa Sonko hii, lipa Amaco hii. You can never divert, and that's that's the law. It's in the Public Finance Management Act, whatever. And it was done in goodwill, because this was my second month in office. Remember, November, I had not awarded any tender to any company. I paid this money to Amaco because those were the instructions from Treasury. If you divert, like what used to happen in the previous administration, that becomes a scandal. So we just complied with the instructions of Treasury. I have the documents here with me, and paid Amaco.
For the first time, talking candidly to this country, Governor Sonko is holding nothing back. He says, I'm clean, and every record is there. This I paid, this I did not. You're watching KTN News.